Okay, so we're out here getting ready for the first coat of paint. Running a little light on my metallic, so I'm actually going to base coat everything with this granite that I have. It's still kind of a gray tone, so it's still going to get the same color on the blue, brighten it up a little bit, and help to seal up the foam a little bit more. Couple of tips with the spray paint. You definitely want to go in a back and forth direction, trying to keep a wet edge on the paint. So you get a nice even coat. So without further ado, you can go ahead and get started. We'll do this and give it a good shake so it's all mixed up real well. And we'll go ahead and we'll start on the neck piece first. We'll put the head there. We'll get the neck piece going. And start getting some paint on this thing. We'll do the back sides first. You can always get your edges if you want first, and then go to your main portions. So we'll go ahead and get some paint on here. I've taped off the Velcro so we don't get paint all over the Velcro. And I'll just go ahead now and just set that down. Again, you just want to keep a wet edge on everything, that way it gets a nice even coat. You don't need to put too much on the first coat, you don't want the paint to run. Over to this side, get the front here. Simple as that. That's the first coat. On to the face. Again, don't want to put too much on the first coat. You don't want it flaking off, so the first coat's just real light, just so that you can get all the rest of the paint to adhere real well. Maybe keep yourself about 12 inches, 8 to 12 inches away from your project so you don't put too much paint on it all at once. Nice light coat. And we have it for the first coat. We'll let that dry and come on back. Alright, we're back for a second coat. That first coat, base coat, of the satin granite they call it, which is kind of a gray tone. It's all dry now. We're going to go ahead and do the silver to the mask, and then after that we'll tape that up and hit it with some blue. So the neck piece, since we're not doing anything with that right now because it's entirely blue, we're going to set that aside, and just move on to the face. Again, we're using satin metallics by Rust-Oleum, and this is aluminum designer finish. So we got some left in here, and we're just going to hit the areas really where it's silver from the photos. And we'll get the outlining areas, and then we'll do the face last. Probably get around the eye sockets to start off, because that's just a little hard to get to. So we'll do a little bit of testing there, and we'll get in the eye sockets. Okay, little pop there. Move up underneath here a little bit so we can get some of these other areas that are seen first. Down the little grooves. So yeah, you want to get in all your little nooks and crannies first, and then do your final coating from the outside. So get in all your little nooks and crannies. Okay. And this aluminum color has a pretty good covering. So we'll go ahead and keep going on the rest of it here. Again, keep a wet edge so it lays down nice and even. And this stuff here dries relatively quickly, usually about 10 minutes. It's pretty solid. And there we are, just about out. But we're going to go ahead and use up the rest of this and then just let it sit. And then we can tape off the blue. And I think we're good. We'll let that dry up and then tape it off and shoot the blue. Okay, so we're back here with the Mark 38 helmet. A lot of people requested how I do the battle damage and wear effects, so we're going to get right into that. Some of the supplies that I use is just a basic acrylic paint. This is black. I have a gunmetal metallic, so that kind of shows like the raw metal underneath, and then also a sterling metallic paint. Just some various size brushes, obviously some water, little paint tray. But first what I do, just to kind of give it a worn effect, I just do straight black right over the metal. And here I use some hot glue right in this corner to simulate a weld. And so to make that kind of pop out, I just grab some black and I'll just rub that in there. Pretty simple, just rub it over. Just take a paper towel and rub it back and forth until you rub in the paint. And just do that a few times, and it dulls out the paint a little bit and it makes it look a little worn. Keep doing that. We'll do a little bit more, and then we'll go on to some of the battle scrapes and stuff. So I'll get into some of this little area over here where the blue is, and up top. And again, it's just rub black over the paint and everything. And then the special tool, paper towel. Just wipe it in there. Again, a few layers of that, then it starts looking like it's worn and smoky and burnt and all sorts of other things. So we'll get if you want, you can make it a little bit darker down into the crevices. Usually that's where grease and oil will sit. soot and all that stuff. That'll also help highlight and accent some of your areas. And that's the black. We'll apply the same technique to the whole helmet and go on to the battle damage. Okay, so we got the basic weathering part done. All I used really was black on that, so I got it down in the creases, made it look a little worn and weathered. Now to give some scrapes to the paint to make it look like the paint's been actually worn away. And the first coat that I use with that is this metallic gunmetal gray, just an acrylic paint, real simple. Get some of that. Just kind of comes out like that, a little metallic-y. And it's just a brush technique, and really what you want to do is just kind of hit your high points. You know, like we'll kind of do this cheekbone section right here. Just kind of come across a little bit like so. You know, might take a couple of coats of this as you come across and just hit like that. You want to make it look like it scrapes, so that's why the longer brush strokes. The corners usually on things look like they get torn up pretty good. That's that. Maybe one across the screw here. I feel like Bob Ross. Happy little scrape. Same thing, maybe the top up here's got some stuff. And I just take the same technique and just apply it to the whole helmet. You know, maybe there's something across there like that. So it's really not too difficult. Just get in there and be creative and see how it looks. It's only paint, so you can always paint back over or cover it up if you need to. And so I just apply that same technique to the whole helmet, and when it's all done, it should look like it's seen some action. That's about it. Pretty simple. And I'll do the whole rest of the helmet, and then you guys can see the end product later.